Let me tell you something that might sound small, almost too simple to matter. But don't let the simplicity fool you. It carries the power to shift the course of your entire life. It starts with your words. That's right, the words you speak, the ones you say to others, and maybe even more importantly, the ones you whisper to yourself when nobody else is around. Because here's a principle I learned early, and I want you to write it down. Your words shape your world. Now I know what you might be thinking. Jim, it's just talk. It's just how I express myself. But let me tell you, it's never just talk. Words are powerful. Words are tools. Words are seeds. And every day you're planting, whether you realize it or not. And here's the key. Your vocabulary is the thermostat of your life. It sets the temperature of your attitude, your expectations, your direction. Speak in anger too often and watch your relationships grow cold. Speak with doubt and you'll freeze your progress. But speak with hope, speak with confidence, speak with vision, and your life starts to warm up again. Some people speak defeat before the day even starts. They wake up and say, it's going to be a tough day. And you know what? They're right, because their words just gave life a blueprint to follow. I've met people who want to change their circumstances. And the first thing I listen to, not their goals, not their plans, I listen to their language. Because how you talk reveals how you think, and how you think determines how you live. You can't speak about being broke and expect to feel rich. You can't speak weakness and expect to feel strong. You can't complain about your boss, your job, your life, and then expect joy to show up like an Amazon package. Let me give you a simple idea that changed my life. If you want to change your life, change your language. It won't happen overnight, but like turning a ship in the ocean, it begins with 1 degree of shift, 1 better sentence, 1 intentional phrase, 1 new belief spoken out loud. Your mind is always listening, so speak like someone worth listening to. Speak life, speak truth, speak growth. And if you'll make this one change, if you'll take charge of your language, you'll be amazed how fast your world starts to follow. Change your words, and you can change your world, 1 sentence at a time. Number 1, words shape your identity. What you consistently say about yourself, day in, day out, becomes the script your life follows. If every morning begins with, I'm tired, and every challenge is met with, I can't, then guess what? You're training your mind to expect struggle. You're handing your future a losing playbook. But here's the shift. Start talking like the person you intend to become. Not who you were yesterday, not the version of you that failed last week, but the one who's rising, learning, improving. Say, I'm disciplined. Say, I'm resilient. Say, I'm becoming someone unstoppable. Because the mind doesn't resist repetition. It embraces it. Speak long enough, and your words will shape your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your habits. And your habits create your destiny. So the next time you speak about yourself, remember, you're not just describing your life, you're designing it. Number 2, words influence your emotions. Language is the lens through which we see the world. It's not just a description, it's a decision. One person says, I'm devastated, and their spirit crumbles. Another says, this is a tough test, and their mind engages. You see, life is full of situations, but how you frame them makes all the difference. When something painful happens, you can say, this is the end, or you can say, this is my beginning. You can call it a failure, or you can call it a lesson. Words can either trap you or free you. And guess who gets to choose that vocabulary? You do. Every time you speak, ask yourself, is this language lifting me up or pulling me down? Am I using words that ignite courage or invite pity? Because when your words change, your emotions follow. And when your emotions rise, so does your life. Speak like someone who believes they can handle anything, and watch how much more you actually can. Number 3, words shape your relationships. If your relationships feel strained, disconnected, or cold, before blaming others, examine your language. Words are not neutral. They're either building bridges or burning them. Are you using your words to uplift, to appreciate, to encourage? Or are you using them to criticize, to complain, to condemn? Some folks carry hammers in their vocabulary. They break down trust, damage spirits, and leave behind a trail of hurt. But others, they carry chisels. They shape understanding, carve out connection, and build harmony word by word. A single sincere compliment can reignite closeness. A word of encouragement can remind someone of their worth. But a careless remark? It can cut deep. So choose your words like a craftsman selects his tools, with care, with purpose. Because the words you speak into others don't vanish, they echo. And often, they become the very script those people repeat to themselves. Speak life, speak strength, speak healing, and watch your relationships transform. Number 4, words direct your focus. Where your language leads, your life follows. If you constantly talk about problems, you condition your mind to see more of them. You build a filter that highlights what's wrong and blinds you to what's possible. But shift your vocabulary. Begin to ask empowering questions, and you'll notice the landscape change. Instead of saying, "Why does this always happen to me?" say, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of, "Nothing ever works," say, "There's a way, I just haven't found it yet." The words we use shape the way we interpret our world. They turn obstacles into stepping stones or walls. You see, it's not about ignoring challenges. It's about naming them in a way that positions you to rise. Call it a lesson, and you grow. Call it the end, and you give up. And here's the truth. Your words are the rudder of your mind. Small, yes, but they direct the whole ship. Steer wisely, speak wisely, and let your words take you somewhere worth going. Number 5, words create vision. Words are not just sounds in the air. They are blueprints. They are the architects of your future. You don't build a cathedral by accident. You don't stumble into a meaningful life. No, you design it. And that design begins with the words you use, consistently. I've heard people say, "I'm just trying to survive," and sure enough, everything in their life begins to reflect survival, just getting by, just enough, barely hanging on. But when someone says, "I'm learning to thrive, I'm preparing for something greater," they begin to shift. The world doesn't change first, they change, their language changes, and soon enough, their world starts catching up. You must stop speaking like life is happening to you and start speaking like life is happening through you. Don't say, "I hope something good happens." Say, "I'm planting good seeds today." Don't say, "If I'm lucky." Say, "If I stay consistent, I will build momentum." That's not arrogance, it's clarity. It's not fantasy, it's faith in action. See, when you speak with intentionality, your words become vision. They're not just reflections of where you are, they're instructions for where you're going. And your subconscious begins to respond. Your energy shifts, your decisions align, and slowly but surely, the world begins to conform to the picture you've been painting with your words. Speak possibility, speak growth, speak the future as if it's already forming, because it is, one sentence at a time. Number 6, the power of daily language habits. It's not the speech you give once a year that changes your life. It's the little phrases you say to yourself every day. That's the difference maker. We all have a running commentary in our minds, and most folks let it run wild like an untamed horse. But not you. You must take the reins. You must train your language like a craftsman sharpens a tool, every day with purpose. When you wake up, say, "Today, I lead with purpose." Not, "I hope I can get through this day." That phrase carries a different weight. One builds strength, the other builds stress. When you face fatigue, say, "There's more in me than I feel right now." Because feelings are fleeting, but words can ground you. When you hit a setback, instead of saying, "Here we go again," say, "This is making me stronger. This is refining me." That one sentence can mean the difference between quitting and conquering. You don't have to shout. You don't need music playing in the background. This isn't about hype. It's about direction. The words you whisper with conviction can often carry more power than the ones you yell without belief. And here's something worth remembering. What you say in private, you start to live in public. Speak strength, speak focus, speak purpose, speak truth, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You don't rise by accident. You rise by intention. And the most intentional thing you can do each day is speak like the person you are becoming. So what do we do now? We start small. We start intentional. And most importantly, we start today. Begin by listening to yourself. What are the words you've been using? What are the silent phrases shaping your days? Because those words, they aren't just sounds. They are bricks. Bricks that build the life you wake up to. If you want a stronger foundation, change the language you're laying it with. Don't just wish for a better life, speak it into motion. Don't just daydream about success, strength, and peace. Declare them as your path. Not with arrogance, but with clarity. Not with noise, but with conviction. Because when you change your words, you change your focus. When you change your focus, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, your world begins to move. The world has been waiting, not for perfection, but for a clearer voice from you. So rise up, speak with wisdom, speak with strength, speak the life you were always meant to live.